Hi, welcome to America Blogs. Today I would like to discuss what is going on in Canada.
Over the holidays, I've also had a chance to reflect and have had long talks with my family about our future. Throughout the course of my career, any success I have personally achieved has been because of their support and with their encouragement. So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process.
Justin Trudeau announced that he will be resigning. The problem that you have when there is a change in government or leadership is that it causes policies to change and can cause uncertainty. This happened when Liz Truss took over in the UK. The British pound fell in value. Donald Trump threatened Canada and Mexico with 25% tariffs, and this is when the Finance Minister of Canada decided to resign, because she didn't want to be involved in the tariff caused. This chart shows the official GDP growth rate in Canada over the past 3 years. In the first quarter of 2024, growth was 0.5%, and in the second quarter 0.5%, and in the third quarter 0.3%. And this chart shows us that Canada's economy is actually growing despite all the deficits and because of the carbon tax. This chart shows the official inflation rate in Canada over the past year. And in December 2023, inflation was 3.4% and has gradually declined because of the Bank of Canada hiking interest rates. And in August, inflation fell to 2%, exactly on the Bank of Canada's inflation target rate. In September, it fell further to 1.6%, and in October, it kept it at 2%, and November 1.9%. And it shows the Bank of Canada has maintained inflation in the 2% target range. This chart shows the official food inflation rate in Canada over the past year. And since March 2024, food inflation has maintained stable, below 3%. This chart shows the official interest rate in Canada over the past 3 years. Now, in February, the Bank of Canada decided to increase interest rates because of rising inflation and to combat inflation, and has gradually increased its interest rates and reached a high of 5%. Over the past year, we have seen that the Bank of Canada has gradually decreased its interest rates. And over the past year, we have seen 5 consecutive cuts in the interest rates of Canada.
So I will axe the carbon tax to lower the cost of food and fuel. We also have to increase the purchasing power of our money. We're printing cash. Bottom line is we're growing the money supply, which causes inflation. We're printing money to fund irresponsible government spending. If you have an economy with 10 apples and $10, it's $1 an apple. You double the amount of money to $20, but your economy still has 10 apples. You're not twice as rich. It's just that now each apple costs twice as much. That's inflation. Our government has created $700 billion more cash in the last 4 years. That's a 40% increase in the money supply, during which time our output has grown by 4%. So we're growing the money 10 times faster than we grow the stuff that money buys. We have to cap spending and get the central bank back to its job of preserving the purchasing power of our people. Instead of adding more cash, we need to produce more of what cash buys. Grow more food, build more homes, produce more energy by unleashing the free enterprise system, getting off the backs of our farmers. So imagine, back to my analogy, instead of 10 apples, you have 10 apples and $10. Imagine if you doubled the number of apples that you grow. you have 20 apples and $10. Now each apple is 50 cents. We have to produce more of the stuff that money buys rather than creating more cash. The same is true with homes. You know, right now we don't have enough homes. Why is it that we don't have enough homes? It doesn't make any sense. We have 10 times as much land per capita as the next closest country in the G7. We have the second biggest landmass in the world, and somehow we have the fewest homes. Why? Because we have the worst bureaucracy. It takes 7 or 8 years to get a housing development approved. It takes 3 times longer to get a permit to build a home in Canada as it does in the US or the UK. And then there's the taxes on top of that. So who do you think pays for that? You pay for it. Why is it that your landlord can raise your rent? Because he knows you can't go anywhere. Why? Because there aren't enough homes. If there were more homes and there were vacancies, you go to your landlord and say, hey, I got options. Either you're going to make my rent affordable, or the new apartment complex down the street is going to do it instead. I'm going to pack my things and leave, and I'm going to pay my rent to him. But right now you have nowhere to go because it's impossible for that competitor to build his place. So we have to get the bureaucracy out of the way and let builders build. We built fewer homes last year than we built in 1972, when our population was half the size. Our population was 22 million in 1972. It was 41 million last year, and we built more homes in 1970. It's just insane.
The Central Bank of Canada was trying to stimulate the economy by printing more money to achieve more growth. However, this didn't achieve anything. One of Canada's biggest problems were labor shortages because of the declining of the population. When Justin Trudeau became Prime Minister, he introduced an immigration policy inviting immigrants to study and work in Canada. For a while, this worked and the economy boomed. Then, this created a much more bigger problem. Housing costs. This led to a sharp increase in housing costs. Housing prices were rising much more faster than wages, making it increasingly difficult for ordinary citizens to afford homes. Then the COVID-19 pandemic came. In the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of countries were using quantitative of easing to try to stimulate the economy and to inject money into the overall economy. This kept interest rates at 0%. The property market took advantage of this uncontroversial monetary policy, and this created more demand, and this was fueling housing prices. Canada also has carbon tax. Now, carbon tax is a tax on greenhouse gas emissions, such as carbon dioxide, which is created by burning fossil fuels like oil, coal, and natural gas. Carbon tax adds a cost to the production, making a product more expensive than it really is. In 2021, Justin Trudeau held a snap election to try to get more power. However, this backfired and he ended up losing his majority. However, over the past year, these votes were reduced even more, making it more likely that the Liberals will lose this election in 2025. Citizens feel that he is a reason for the current problem. Summary and conclusion. So what do I think about the Bank of Canada printing more money? This shows that Canada has the habit of printing more money, and the government sees it as a quick and easy fix to the current problem. However, this is making the problem much more worse. Because when a central bank of a country prints more money, it hypes inflation. What do I think about the economy data of Canada? The economy data shows that Canada is in a really good state. Inflation is coming down, GDP growth is better compared to other countries, and interest rates are coming down to a more manageable level. Overall, the Canada's government is a minority government, and it makes it difficult for policies to be approved because of the additional steps involved. I believe Canada needs a Prime Minister that has the backbone and strength to fight for Canada. and I have no doubt in Pierre that he will deliver. Canada needs a Prime Minister that will stand up against Trump and his tariffs and say, we are not going to allow this. Canada has large export businesses and is a major exporter in oil. This shows that Canada has the resources to compete with Trump and to the rest of the world. I think 2025 is going to be a big year. In 2025, I think there is going to be a lot of leaders that want to flex their powers, and this could reduce global trade significantly. And this could trigger a global recession like in 2007. I really want to thank you for whoever is watching, and please consider subscribing and liking, and let's grow this channel together. Keep well.
You'll get it. You'll get it. You'll get it. Here you go. Where'd it go?